Sometimes, when I am overwhelmed by calm, I feel as if the whole world is stopping, as if time and space are dissolving into a deep inner silence, heard only by myself. In this silence, I see a faint voice, an inner dialogue that continues tirelessly. But this calm that contains me, is it really my refuge? Or is it a constraint that prevents me from living with others?
This is the essence of an introvert that is often misunderstood. An introvert is not someone aloof from life or antisocial, but one who finds in tranquility a refuge to restore energy, a wellspring of reflection and depth. In modern science, studies have shown that the introvert brain processes external stimuli in a different way. It consumes more energy when socially interacting than an extrovert, making the need for isolation necessary to restore balance.
However, I sometimes feel the weight of loneliness, especially when others think that I hate promiscuity or refuse to share. Within myself, I have a deep desire to communicate, but I am afraid to be consumed, to lose myself between people as voices and hustle. Is this fear normal?
Yes, absolutely. In truth, introverts live an internal struggle between the desire for closeness and the need to preserve personal space. This space is not selfish, but rather an energy field in which man is renewed. Many philosophers and wise men through the ages have maintained that going deep into the self is key to wisdom, and that silence is sometimes more eloquent than speech.
Truth be told, I find in my silence profound meanings, but that silence is misunderstood in my community, where hustle and appearance are celebrated. How do I deal with that difference without feeling weird or less valuable?
Society by its nature tends to appreciate the obvious, but overlooks the depth of internal experiences. Herein lies the importance of the introvert being aware of the value of oneself from within. In ancient texts, it is stated that the real power lies in calm and contemplation, and in knowing oneself honestly and transparently. Accepting yourself as you are, in your need of calm, is the first step in building a solid internal confidence that is not shaken by the vagaries of external opinions.
But how do I build that confidence? And how do I find the motivation to engage in life without feeling like I'm betraying myself?
To begin with, it is important to know that engaging in life does not mean losing your identity, but rather expressing it in ways that work for you. You do not need to be like everyone. You need to find your own way of communicating and clearly define your limits. Modern science advises applying self-regulation strategies, such as setting aside times for social interaction and rest, to help you maintain your psychological energy.
It makes sense, but sometimes I find myself oscillating between feeling alone and wanting to mix, as if there's never-ending internal struggle.
Internal conflict is part of personal growth. In The Psychologist, it is said that confronting and consciously representing internal conflicts is the beginning of healing. You can learn to listen to yourself tenderly, to give yourself the space to feel all the feelings that go through them, without pushing yourself to run away or deny.
Can I use this calmness and meditation for the benefit of developing myself in my studies or work?
Certainly, and that's what often defines introverts. Their calmness gives them the ability to be deeply focused, analytical thinking, making them successful in areas that require precision and patience. But don't forget to organize your time, set clear goals, and take periodic breaks to replenish your energy. These keys help you strike a balance between performance and comfort.
But how do I cope with the social pressures that ask me to be more social and active?
Social pressures are always there, but you have to distinguish between what is necessary and what is your free choice. Remember that your value is not measured by how socially active you are, but by how honest you are with yourself. It is wise to surround yourself with people who understand and respect your nature. This support boosts your psychological strength.
Can you tell me about exercises or methods that help me balance introversion with the demands of social life?
Yes, there are several scientifically proven techniques that help with this. One of the most important is mindfulness. Mindfulness, which means attending the moment with full awareness without judging thoughts or feelings. You can practice deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation exercises, Journaling also helps you express your feelings and thoughts, reducing internal stress.
But sometimes I feel anxiety permeates me and negative thoughts overwhelm me.
Anxiety is a natural reaction to the unknown or challenges, and it doesn't mean weakness. What's important is how you deal with it. Cognitive reassessment helps you change your perspective on events by seeing problems as learning opportunities rather than threats. Try to remember that every difficult experience you go through is part of building your personal strength.
Can I find meaning or purpose in my quiet and introverted state?
Absolutely. Many wise men throughout history have found in solitude an opportunity for self-discovery and spiritual connection. In ancient teachings, it is said that he who knows himself knows his Lord, meaning that understanding yourself is the path to inner peace and harmony with the universe. Your goal is to live authentically with yourself and to invest your quiet time in developing your abilities and talents.
Can you give me an example from a scientific or spiritual tradition that helps me accept myself and my introversion?
There's an ancient proverb that says, "People are like stars. Some shine brightly in the darkness, and some twinkle softly in the depths." This phrase reminds us that each person has their own unique way of shining. From a rich heritage of spiritual and humanistic understanding, we've learned that serenity and stillness are the foundation of wisdom, and that acknowledging one's own needs is the beginning of the journey toward true balance.
It's a beautiful feeling. I think I'm starting to see my stillness as a gift rather than a burden.
And that's the key. The stillness that seemed like a barrier can become a bridge if we know how to use it. Every moment of stillness is an opportunity for inner growth, for strengthening ourselves, and for building slowly and steadily.
Can you help me develop a simple plan to begin with?
Of course. Start by setting aside time for yourself every day, even if it's just 10 minutes. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and don't try to fill the space with thoughts. Write down your thoughts and feelings, even if they're simple. Try to set small, achievable goals in your studies or work, and give yourself praise for each accomplishment.
What about interacting with others?
Choose the right time and place, and remember that the quality of your relationships matters more than their quantity. It's okay to say no when you feel like you need a break. Being honest with yourself is self-respect.
Sometimes I wonder if this path could bring me true happiness.
Happiness isn't a destination, but a journey lived in its small moments. When you accept yourself, live mindfully, and handle your emotions with compassion, you build a strong foundation for sustainable.
Thank you. I feel I am no longer alone on this journey.
And I am here with you, every step of the way. Remember that this inner dialogue, this moment you choose to listen to yourself, is the beginning of true peace. These words are inspired by the wisdom of one of the greatest scholars of the Shia Islamic tradition, who taught us that a deep understanding of oneself is the path to light and peace.